Hello and welcome to WPS News. I'm Samuel.
And I'm Vienna. We're students from North High School.
We'd like to share some news from around the Worcester School District. Vienna, what do we have for our first story?
Doherty Memorial High School celebrated a grand opening for their new building with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and a tour of the state-of-the-art school.
The new building serves 1,700 students in 4 academic wings, along with spaces for 4 career technical education programs. This gives students a variety of environments designed for collaboration and innovation.
I've heard such great things about the new building. I can't wait to check it out.
Today is the official ribbon cutting for Doherty Memorial High School, this brand new building that students have been in since the end of August, and as you can tell, I am just thrilled with this opportunity that this school provides for the scholars who go to school here.
3, 2, and...
We are honored to host the city, the state, the community delegation who all worked together to bring this school to fruition.
So we started with speeches, some student performances. We heard from some students. We had the ribbon cutting. We've got students now taking individuals on tours of this beautiful facility. And then, of course, a reception with a cake and cookies.
I'm Patricia Doherty. I am the daughter-in-law of Dr. Leo T. Doherty, who this beautiful school was named after. It was my husband's father, and he had him for really such a short time because he was a senior in high school when his dad died. He went by this saying that you should leave the earth better than you found it. And he did that his entire life. And I think that's his legacy. He just put others first all the time.
It truly is an honor. I'm excited for the future to know that there are things that we can't even imagine are possible that will unveil themselves as we explore this space.
During the fall, each Worcester Public School hosts a Know Your School Night.
It's a great opportunity for parents and caregivers to visit their students' schools to learn more about the curriculum, meet with teachers, and see what the new school year has in store.
Check out this video on the Know Your School Nights at McGrath Elementary and Woodland Academy to see what it was all about.
Know Your School Night is an opportunity for families to come together. You get to visit the school, meet the teacher, see the building, and just learn what the school year has in store.
I feel so excited. I'm so happy to have everybody here. We wanted to make our classroom as inviting as possible. We have all of their work out on their tables ready for them to show their parents. We have food and snacks over here to kind of welcome families in and make them feel at home here.
What's great for the teachers is you get to meet all the families, which is great because you're going to be working with each other throughout the year, and it's just a great opportunity to build that partnership right away.
Sam, did you know you can track your school bus in real time using the MyStop GPS bus tracking app? It provides real-time updates on your bus route and estimated arrival times.
This will be great. No more waiting in the cold this winter.
Let's find out how the MyStop bus app works.
Versatrans MyStop is a mobile app that provides access to bus information while providing parents valuable information about their child's bus route and approximate time of arrival at their stop. Parents can download this app through the App Store to an iOS device or to Android devices from Google Play. There's so much to like about the app. I would say that one, I'm able to see the location, so it gives me some sort of peace to know how far or how close she is to her bus stop. Once she's on the bus, I'm able to see the GPS location as well. Once the bus is, approaching, I don't have to have her wait outside for too long. Another function that I love through the MyStop app is that I also receive notifications from the Worcester Public Schools Transportation Department. So some of the things that I might receive is if there's inclement weather, if the bus is running late, or if I have a spare driver for my daughter's bus. It's really, really user-friendly. On the parent side, you're only able to see your children who are assigned to buses. So even if I had an additional child that wasn't assigned to transportation or to a bus, I wouldn't be able to see that information. The only information you would need is the student ID and date of birth, and that's very specific to every student. I would say that it's very secure, and that information isn't shared with anyone else.
I've seen a lot of improvements since I started working here 2 years ago. I approve of it.
Vienna and myself are a part of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. Each month we get together with students from other WPS high schools to network and discuss any policy changes we'd like to see in the school system.
North High hosted the first SSAC meeting of this school year. Let's take a peek at the event.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right.
The Superintendent Student Advisory Council is an opportunity where we gather kids from different high schools and they're able to network and talk about different policy changes they'd like to see.
How I explain it to people is it's kind of like students' perspective of the school system and how we see it and how we want to fix it.
And then it's also our opportunity to continue to develop you as the leaders of...
I love the superintendent. She's amazing. I love Caleb. He's so great.
During our meetings, students are usually posed with a question or some sort of problem that they've identified within the district that they get to work and network around.
We noticed that it is very hard to find a solution that will make everybody in the community happy.
Last year, some of the great examples that came out of it were language around policy change with dress codes and cell phone policies. They were also able to contribute to the hiring process of teachers and helping create language around how they're getting hired and who they're hiring.
I like the people in it. I like the people who I've met. I like the people I've talked to.
It allows them to feel like they're actually making a difference in the school they participate in. I also feel as though when they're helping implement the change, they're more involved and more invested in their education, which is always a great thing to have.
Bye! See you in a month. Bye-bye.
And for our last segment, let's take a look at a recurring feature called Ask the Superintendent.
For this episode, North High students Jacob Terrell and David Singh discuss budget-related changes, in-school safety concerns, and new culturally competent staffing in WPS with Dr. Menares.
Hello and welcome to the North High edition of Ask the Superintendent. Each episode, students from the Superintendent Advisory Council comes up with their own questions and ask our Superintendent, Dr. Menares. I'm Jacob, and
I'm David.
And we're students from North High. Our first question is, as students, there is not always transparency around what goes on at the administrative level. Do you feel the changes to the budget that made the intended impact? And what benefits do you see from the changes?
Well, thank you for that question. That's a great question because you'll remember last year with the student advisory, we had you guys go through a budget exercise of the challenges around budgeting and the complexities around it, right? We used what you gave us in our decision making around budget. One of the things, I don't know if you remember that you said as a collective group is preschool is so important. Do you remember saying that? And I said that over and over again to different groups that I would speak with. So we made sure that we made no changes to any kind of preschool programming we have, even though we want to continue to grow our preschool, right? But when we have a deficit, we can't do more, but we did not change that. We recognize this is the challenge of budget, right? Is that if we can, this idea around we can do anything we want, we just can't do everything we want. I'm sure your parents might say things like that too at home, right? Like we've got this much money, we can do what we want with it, but we're not gonna be able to do everything we absolutely want with it. And that's the same thing for the school district. So do I think that we made to your original question, did we make the intended impact that we wanted? Did our best to keep the class sizes as small as possible. We have done that. What we could not anticipate is we actually have more students this year. So we have more students at all levels, high school level, elementary just across the board. And so even though we said we wanted to keep the class size average of 21 to 1, there's classes that aren't at that, and there's absolutely no way we can change that because we just have more students. So we couldn't anticipate for that. But maintaining things like the athletics program, the any kind of advanced programming that we had, that should still be in place. If there's any changes, it wasn't something that was district level, it was more school level, and it was more contextual to that particular school. So what I really want to be able to say is, next year, I don't have to cut anything. I want to start to be able to grow so we could really start to work on our Worcester Public Schools promise to all of you. And so fingers crossed we get the money that you all deserve.
Safety seems to be a recent concern for students and staff. Moving forward, is there a more proactive prevention versus a reactive plan?
Yeah, and when this is being recorded, or videoed, what's the right term? What do you guys say? Because I'm aging myself here. Recorded, right? Okay. That we had just had these social media threats, right, throughout the district just about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago. So I really think the question is in reference to that when you wrote it. What we have learned in the process of trying to communicate all this information out around these really sad, disheartening things that are happening on a national level, not just in Worcester, is I can put information out as the superintendent on a broad scale, but then what we need to get better at is then making sure that we give the principals the appropriate information they need to then communicate with the students, the families at the school level. Because the superintendent's not going to say, and at North High we're doing this, and at South High we're doing this, and at Nelson Place that wouldn't work, right? Parents really want to hear from their principal. You all want to know from the people that are responsible for you here. That's a learning that is so obvious, and yet in the midst of it, we realize we need to get better at that. So that's definitely something, because sadly, this is not going to be the last time, I don't think. Another piece that we have been working on as a district is we have trained up all of our principals and our directors on how to be responsive during these kind of situations. God forbid there's an emergency. And so we know how to do the drills, the secure and hold drills. We need to have you practicing that so that you feel more confident. So just yesterday, our director of safety was sharing with principals that they need to be doing that and then documenting that for us. Because you practice fire drills, but now you need to practice, sadly, what do you do and God forbid something happens. And thankfully, it's not, those kind of things don't happen as frequently, but we hear about them when they do, right? And they're the scariest. So we want to practice that with you, but most of our stuff is really about like hold, like someone got sick in the hallway, don't go down that hallway, don't let in classes out until we can clean it up. Those kind of things, that's what we want to be sure that our staff all knows too. So we've trained everybody, we got to get it down into the schools, and that will be happening this school year.
One of our last questions is that we noticed that a lot of new staff coming in are more culturally competent. Do you think this has to do with anything that we've done last year in SSAC?
Well, first of all, I'm so happy that you're noticing that. That really makes a big difference, because that was such really an urgency that I heard from you all, I heard from families, I heard from staff when I first got here. And so 2 years now and we're starting to see a change, that's really heartwarming. I would say it's a combination of things. I would say that, of course, the work that the Superintendent Student Advisory did last year with providing some interview questions, how can that hurt? That absolutely has helped. I think you also talking about it elevates it more to the rest of the adults to say, look, this isn't just Dr. Monades talking about it. These are the youth saying we need to get better in this, right? So that elevates it. And then the Human Resource Office has also put some expectations in place about when they interview people, who do they interview, what experiences are we looking for? So it's like everyone has to play their part, has to be multifaceted, and I believe all of it has a place. But of course, I'm just so happy that you are seeing an impact. That goes back to that original question about budget. right? Like, is there an impact on it? Even though we had to reduce positions, the positions and people we're bringing in, they're starting to be more reflective of what you're looking for in the adults that are leading you and educating you. So that's pretty cool. Is the right term epic?
Well, thank you, Doctor, for joining us. I enjoyed speaking with you. And thank you for watching the North High edition of Ask the Superintendent.
That's it for this edition of WPS News for North High School and the WPS News team. I'm Samuel.
And I'm Vienna.
From here,
Anywhere,
together.